Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss arrays in JavaScript. So array is a data structure or a data type in a JavaScript which allows us to store multiple values inside a single variable. It means what? So let's say you have a one variable, let x is equal to 10. So far we were using a variable to store the single value either of number type or boolean type or any string type data in the variable. But if you want to store the multiple values inside a single variable, we need a array, and it is very similar to the variable. The only difference is that it allows to store the multiple values of or multiple types of values inside a single variable. So it is very similar to the list in Python. It allows to store the heterogeneous type. Heterogeneous means any type of data. If I wanted to store the Boolean type data, I can store Boolean type data, and on next I can store number type data. If I want, I can store string type data. If I wanted to store nan, yes, everything is possible. It means any type of data can be stored inside an array. Arrays are defined or created using square bracket, and this way of creating array is called array literals. Okay, so this is the one way to create array. If you want to create an array using new keyword, yes, you can create an array using new keyword also. So what you need to do, you need to define the variable. Let's say let array1 is equal to, and here you have to say new array. And this is a constructor. You can read about the array. Array is its constructor, and you have to pass the array length here. Okay, you can pass the number, or you can directly pass any other type of data. But if I pass a number, means array length. Okay, or I can directly pass the values here. If I pass 100, if I pass true, if I pass webchamp, this is the way to create a array. Another way, this is what the first way, using array literal and creating array using new keyword. So these are the two ways to create an array in JavaScript. Okay, sometimes you need to add the data runtime in that case, or you need to add the data after the array is been declared. So yes, we can do that also. So we can say new array, you have to define the length. Okay, length of array at the time of declaration. I will say 5 elements are there in the array. So this is what the size of array you can define. You can directly pass the values, as many values you want, or you can define the length of array. And on next step, you can add array of array of 0 is equal to, let's say, 100, and array 2, okay, array 2 of 1 is equal to webcam. Okay, so this is the way to add items to the array. Means what is this 0? And these are the indexes. Each array item has its index. So first item will have index called 0, next item will have index called 1, then 2 and 3, and later on it goes increasing by one until the array has numbers. And similarly, if we say that array of length 5, that means it has an index 0, 1, 2, okay, 3, 4 and 5. But this 5 will not be there because index always start with 0. So remember, index is always less than the length of array. So this covers 5 elements: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 5 elements your array has. So these are the ways to create arrays, and arrays are indexed, and index can be used to access the array element or to change the array element. I will show you how to access the array element, how to update the array element. Okay, so as of now, we have not passed any value to the HTML document. To see the output, I will say documents dot write, and I have to write here array. Okay, later on I would like to write okay, document dot write array 1, and also I would like to write documents dot write array 2. Okay, so I have used the document dot write method to see the output on browser, and here you can see that first true 100 webcam and nan is the first array. Later on, second array is started from this 100 true webcam. So this is how arrays are created. If I add a break here to see the output on new or each array on new line, if I refresh, you can see the output. So this is my array, this is my array 1, this is my array. And here you can see that since we don't have passed any array element, the comma separated, you can see that nothing is there in between two commas. So it will create, or automatically it will kept the array element as a undefined, because we have not assigned any value for that specific position. So this is how array creation works. Then arrays are indexed. As I said, array index starts with 0 and it goes increasing, but it is always less than the length of array. Then array items are indexed, and it is a type of objects. So if you try to check the type of array, you will get the output as a object. So if I say type of array, if I do the same for all others, you will see the output as a object. Okay, not an array. Array is not a data type. It is treated as an object in JavaScript. So you will see object here, object here, object here, because I added after the break. That's why. So no issues. So now I wanted to access the array element. Okay, I don't want to do this. What I will do instead, I would prefer to access the array element. To access the array element, we can use the index also. And if I wanted to access the first element of this array or second element of this array, I will use the appropriate index, and I will say if I need a second element, I will say index 1 or position 1. So it will return me the value at second position of that specific array. If I wanted to change the array item, yes, I can do that also. So if I use, or if I say array of 1, and if I assign the directly value here as a Brahma, that 100 will be replaced with Brahma, and here you will see the output as a Brahma. Okay, so this is how updating or changing array elements works. Then we have a property called array length. Okay, so if you want to find out how many elements are sitting inside an array, you can use length property of array. So I will say documents dot write and array dot length we can use. So this will return the number of items from or length of array. If I refresh, it says that my array has 4 number of items. If I add one more, it should return me 5. So this is what the use of array length property. This will help us to loop through the array. At the end of this video, I will talk on the array iteration using index. Okay. To perform various operations on a array or array items, array has some built-in methods. So if you want to convert the array into the string, we have a toString method and join method. So let's see how these two methods works. If you want to check whether the array is a type of array or not, because return type means whenever we check type of array variable, it returns object. But if you want to confirm whether that object is a type of array or not, then we have a two method called array dot isArray and array name instance of variable name. So let's see how these two methods works. So we have a two variables, two or more variables with array. So what I will do, I will use here array dot isArray. So this is what the method we are going to use to confirm that whether it is an array or not. So here you can see the syntax of method, that array constructor dot isArray. Array constructor means this is what the array, and argument any is means any type of array. So if I pass ARR, so this will return me either true or false. If the passed variable is type of array, it will return true, otherwise it will not return true, it will return false. So here you can see that if I pass this variable, it will return me false. But if I pass actually the variable which is of type array, it returns me true. So this is the one way to confirm. Then we have one more way. Okay, documents dot write here, and we can use instance of, means we can use instance of method. Means what? So you have to say array instance of array. So this is the method to confirm whether the type of variable is type of array or not. Again, this way or this method will return output in the Boolean value either true or false. And yes, this is returning me a true. And it is saying that yes, array 1 1 is the instance of array, if I try to find out the value, or if I check with the normal primitive variables, okay, number type variable, it return me false. So these are the two ways to confirm whether the variable is type of array or not. Then we have methods, means what? Okay, if I say, or if I talk on the toString method, so JavaScript automatically convert whenever we pass the array to HTML. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are writing array into the HTML body, right? We are writing array into HTML body, and we, or you can see that it is a comma separated values, right? It is not passing the array exactly as we have in JavaScript. Instead, it passed the value comma separated values, and this is what the automatic conversion of JavaScript array into the string. So whenever we pass array to DOM, okay, to show the output on the browser, it automatically converts. But if you want to convert the array into the string, yes, we can use, or we have a toString method of array. And this is also doing the same as we have seen earlier. We will get the same output, nothing will be changed. But this is just to confirm, okay, but JavaScript has a feature to, it automatically converts array of string, number, or boolean values to string method. So on array, on number, or on boolean, we can use toString method. It returns string representation of array, since we are using array. And here you will see the output. This is the one method to convert the array into the string. But if I want to convert array, but by default it is toString method, it separates the array by using comma. But in case if I wanted to separate the array using some another separator or another symbol, so that is what possible with join method. So what you need to do, you need to use the array dot join, and here you have to say, or you have to talk on, not talk, okay, you have to mention, okay, mention the separator, means inside a double quotation as a string. If you add a space, you will get a string separated by, means array item separated by space. If you add star, you will get array items separated by star. If you add space, star, space, you will get array items separated by space, star, space. This is how join method works. That is the only difference between toString and join method. So now if you want to add new items to the array, okay, we have a method called push, unshift, and splice. So let's see how these three methods will help us to add the new items to the array. We have already seen that if I need, or if I wanted to add the array items or any new item to my array, yes, what we can do, I can use array of length. Length is, as we know, that it is a maximum, or it is a count of number of items, right? And what happens, the index start with 0. Okay, our index is start with 0, so we have 5 items in case, okay, let's say if I have a 5 items in my array, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, these are my indexes. But if I pass the length to indexer syntax, what it will do, it will add new items at 5th index. Next time if I pass the length, so next time my length will be 6. Means I will have 6 items. So next time it will consider 6 at the, I mean, in the place of length. When new item will be added, length will be increased by 1. So this is how it works. So we can use the length directly here. So let me clear this. To add new items, I'm just using a length of array. So if I say length, I can add any value. So what I will do, I will add, okay, so what is the value? Array, or I will say JavaScript. Okay, any value can be accepted. Any type of value can be accepted. So now if I try to pass the array to the documents by using document.write method to the HTML. Okay, so what it will do, it will give me the values. Okay, and it added JavaScript at first. Oh, okay. Then next is, if I wanted to add any new element, I will say demo. Okay, so you will see the output array dot length, and it is adding deva. Okay, deva is there. No, it's already the demo. We are trying to add a demo. It is added at the, okay. So next time array length will be different, but this will replace the value because it will take the array length as a 5 for all those statements. But I can say that length plus 1. So this will add new item to my string, and here demo is getting added. Okay, so you have to be careful when you are passing something as an index in the array. So now we have to see that push method, how push method help us to add new item to the array. So let's say I have to add item inside a array, and I will call push method on it. So it is asking me for items, and by default it will add new item to the end of array. If I pass demo here, you will see the output that demo is added at the end of array. So this is the use, or this is the way to use the push method to add new items. Similarly, we have one more method to add item, that is what called unshift method. Okay, if you, it is very similar, and this method is going to return, means what we, this will add a new item. Okay, but actually this method is going to return this method is going to return something, that is what called length of new array. So if I use this directly here, okay, so instead of returning a new array, it will return a length of array, and it says that your new array has 6 items. Okay, so this method is going to return length of array. Since we are just adding, we are not interested to get the length of new arrays. That's why I'm not passing. But if you want to store that value somewhere in your variable, you can use a new variable, or you can say that new array length. And if you pass or I will say new array length. Okay, so you will see array followed by number of items in the array. So push method is going to return us new length of array. So similarly, we have unshift method also to do the same, the function or return whatever the pull unshift method is going to return is also a length. Okay, new length. So instead of this, if I use array dot unshift, and here you can see that it is also asking us for a new element, or if I add the element like this, okay, so what will happen? So here you can see the output. A Python is getting added at start of the array, and demo is getting added, which is what we passed using push method at the end. So this is what the difference. Unshift method, okay, unshift method adds element at start of array, but this what method, push method, adds elements at the end of array. So this is how we have two methods to add new elements. Yes, there is a one more method, that is what splice method, but this method is used to perform both the operations. So I will discuss after the methods to remove an item from array. Okay, so splice method can be used to add a new item to the array, or it can be used to remove the items from array. So now we will see array methods. Okay, array methods to remove an item from the array. So there is a method called pop, there is a method called shift. Splice can be used in both the adding or removing the item, or slice method is there. So we will see all those methods, and later on I will discuss how or what we need to do to add the element, what we need to do to remove the element using splice method. So slice is used, definitely used only for the removing item from array. So let me remove this. So now if I wanted to remove a item from this array, so I can use pop method. So here you can see the syntax. I will say pop. So pop will remove the last element of an array. So here in our array, we have a deva, right? Deva is the last element. This method returns removed element. Means whatever the item it has removed will be returned. So return removed item. So I will show you. Okay, if I try to pass documents dot write array, you will see the array which we means which is not deva is not there. Okay, the item which we have received sorry removed is deva, and deva means you will see the array without deva. Deva value is removed, okay, by using pop method, but this method is going to return me deva. So if I try to store that value somewhere in my variable, I will say let y is equal to, and here we can say that removed item is plus y, means y will have this y variable will have the one value which is removed from the array, and removed item is deva. Okay, so this is how it returns a removed item. Next method is shift method. So if you want to use the shift method, yes, but what is the difference? You can see that it removes, shift method removes first element of an array. So this time it will not remove last element, instead it will remove this first element. That is what the value of true. And as output we can see that the removed item is, okay, let me add some space here. Okay, removed item is true, means first item. So that is, this is the difference. Pop method will remove last item, shift method will remove first item. Then we have a next method called splice and or slice method. Slice method is only used to remove the item from JavaScript array. So what is the difference between these two? I will discuss. Okay. So if I use slice method, so here you can read about it. It returns a copy of section of array, means it returns a new array. It will not make changes to the original array. Okay. So if I use slice method, it will not affect this array. Instead it will create a new array. And while using slice method, you have to pass the index. Means if you want to remove any specific item, we can pass the index. Okay, starting number, and how many elements to be removed we can pass here, means starting index and end index, and this will returns array. Okay, so how this works, we will see. If I pass 2, so 2 is my index. Okay, and what this method is going to return, so you will see that you will not see anything is removed from this array. So you will have an array with true, 100, webcam, and everything will be there in the original array. And this is what your original array. So it will not affect anything in original array. Instead it will create a new array, or it will return a new array with removed items. So from second index onwards, everything is removed. Okay, if we do not pass the end index, it will remove everything. Everything means if I pass the only index as a 2, so from second index onwards, everything or all the items will be removed. And this is what we are getting, a new array of removed items. If I wanted to pass the end index, yes, I can pass, and I will say 4. Okay, so what I am trying to say that remove items from second, and in any of the method, if you pass 2, when start and end number will be always excluded. So it will remove only webcam and none. So here you can see the output that it removes second and third index, fourth index will be ignored by default. This is what the syntax, or this is how these methods are designed. So it will not remove. If you want to remove the fifth, you should pass a higher number than fourth index. Okay, so this is how slice method works. Either you can remove the range of elements, or you can remove here. We can pass array length also. Okay, array not length, array dot length -1. This is what our last index. If you in case if you want to remove the last index or last item, last item is Deva, and it says that removed item is Deva. So this is how it works. But instead of deleting array, instead of removing items from original array, slice method will create a new array of removed items. We can remove the range of items by using slice method. Now we have a splice method also. Okay, this is the only method that we can use to perform either addition of element or removing of array elements. For both the things, we can use the splice method. So let me call a splice method. If I say sp, okay, splice method, and here it is asking you to enter the start number. So I will say second. Okay, and next parameter it is asking is delete count. So you have to enter how many elements from second, whatever the number you have entered or whatever the position index you have entered, how many elements you need to remove. If I say 2, it will remove second index and next index. So these are the 2 elements will be removed, and whatever the elements will be removed, it will return the new array with that elements. And here we can see that removed item, webcam, and none. Okay, so these 2 items are removed, but splice method affect the original array. So here we can see that webcam and none is not present in original array, and it is removed or it is deleted. So if you want to add, okay, if you want to add a new element to the array, and if you don't want to remove anything, so what you need to do, you have to say, or you can pass the any index here where you want to add new element. So I said I wanted to add new element at second position. I don't want to remove anything, so I will say 0, means this is what the number of elements, okay, to be deleted. So I said 0. I don't want to delete anything, that's why I entered 0. If I pass 1, it will remove the webcam. Okay, and next is it is asking you for the new item. So if I say demo, what it will do, it will add a demo at second position. Okay, and here you can see that nothing is removed, but demo is added at second position. All other items are, means webcam, nan, and deva are shifted to the next index. So this is how splice method is used to add the element, and it can be used to remove the element from array. Now at last, I would like to discuss sorting of an array. So if you want to sort, so we have a method called sort. So how do you sort method? Sort method works very well on string type data, means whenever we have objects or we have array elements in the form of string. So let's say, or let me add HTML, then PHP, then Python, then CSS, then Java. So I have a array items like this in the string format, and if I wanted to sort these, I can use sort method. So I will say sort. So what it will do, it will compare the 2 values in the string, and it returns some kind of number, and based on that number, it will return data or array in sorted order. So I I will show you array and I will say sorted array. So you will see output as a original array and sorted items is CSS is coming first, HTML is second, Java, PHP, Python. Okay. So it sorts, it affects the original array also. That's why it is showing us output here. But instead, instead of this, if I directly pass array here, I wanted to show you the difference. That's why I'm trying. Okay. I don't want to store anything inside. So here you can see that original array is HTML, PHP, Python, CSS, Java, and sorted array is CSS, HTML, Java, PHP, and Python. So this is the method which sorts the array alphabetically, but this method will not work whenever you have to sort the numbers, because this sort method is specially designed for string type data. Okay. And if you have a numbers, what it will do, it will convert the numbers, it will treat each number as a string, and there will be a problem. So you have to write your own custom function to sort the numbers, number type arrays. If you want to reverse the array, there is a method called reverse. And if you refresh here, you can see that HTML, PHP, this is what the original array, and reverse array is this. So irrespective of sorting and then reverse, it will directly reverse. Okay. Directly reverse the values means order will be changed. Last index will come at first and first index will be shifted to last index. This is what the function of reverse. So this is how array method works in JavaScript. And at last, if you have to iterate, you have to go through the each of the elements of JavaScript. We can use index also. I will just show you simple iteration here, but JavaScript has many built-in methods to iterate over the array. So I will discuss array iteration in my next video. In this video, I will just discuss how to use normal for loop to iterate, or normal while loop to iterate over the array. Okay, so first you need a initialization. So I will say let I is equal to 0. Why we are using 0? Because our index start with 0. Then if I say while, okay, while I will say I is less than, but what is the condition? So it should be less than array length. Okay, in that case only it should, what it should do, it should print documents dot write. It should print each and every item of array. So I will use this syntax, and on next line I will use the increments, because my index should increase one by one until it reaches to the last index. And if I go here and if I refresh, okay, so it should give me the output. Okay, documents dot write method. Why this is not working? Okay, am I missing something? Yes, there is no error in the console also. Then why we can't get output? Array dot length will return a number. Okay, while, and yes, increment is used. But why the loop is not getting executed? Initialization, this is what the condition, this is what the increment or decrement. It should write, but my loop is not getting executed. Okay, I is less than. Okay, let me try with for loop. If I use a for loop, I will say let let I is equal to 0. It should work. Okay, this is what comma I is less than array dot length. This is what I did in my one of previous video also, and I will say I plus plus, and in this I will say document dot write, and here I would like to write array item with index I, and on next line I will say break, so that my output should be entered on next line. And here we can, yes, we were getting output. I was expecting that is what it is what printing array, but while loop was also working, and we, since we did not added break on new line, I mean to get the output on new line, it was showing array, and I was thinking that it was just a array converted to string, but it was a while loop output. So this is how we can use the array length property to iterate using while loop and for loop. So while loop, what was the code we had written? So okay, this is our loop, and if I add the break here, you will see the output in the same format. Yes. So this is what the actually iterations, and we can perform any type of operation. Okay, if you want to perform the trim, if your data string, or if you need to confirm is array, whatever the operation you wanted to do on each of the array item, you can build the logic inside a loop block. Okay, this is how array iteration works. Apart from this, JavaScript has many built-in methods to reduce, or reduce, filter, sum, every. There are many methods to iterate over the array. I will discuss that all the methods in my next video. Thank you so much for watching the video.